Just so you know, Alderman Barth wants to speak. She's on the list
Okay.
to speak on this first one.
Oh, okay. We'll say, okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Planning and Development Committee meeting. It's Monday, January 26, 2015. It's 7:35. We have a quorum, and the first item on our agenda is approval of regular meeting minutes of January 12th, 2015. Is there a motion to approve?
Approval?
Are there any additions or corrections? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Items for consideration, the first one is P1, Ordinance 13015, granting zoning relief for an open parking space in the front yard at 521 Ridge Avenue. The Zoning Board of Appeals recommends the adoption of Ordinance 13015, granting zoning relief to establish one open parking space in the front yard at 521 Ridge Avenue. City staff recommends that if the City Council chooses to approve the zoning relief, a condition be imposed for the removal of the extraneous curb cut and driveway apron on Elmwood Avenue, and that's for introduction. Is there a second? Okay, we have one person signed up to speak. Alderman Burris, are you here? There you are. Okay.
Hi, thank you. This is in my ward, the 9th ward, and I am in full support of approval of this. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm opposed because I oppose open parking spaces in front yards. So that is, how many? 1, 2, 3. So 6-1. Next item is P2, Ordinance 12015, granting a special use for a Type 2 restaurant, Clucker's Charcoal Chicken, at 1936 Maple Avenue. The Zoning Board of Appeals and City staff recommend the adoption of Ordinance 12015, granting a special use permit for a Type 2 restaurant, Clucker's Charcoal Chicken, in the B1 Business District, and this is for introduction.
Move approval.
Okay, is there any discussion? We have one person signed up to speak.
That's the applicant.
Oh, the applicant is here tonight. Did you wish, yes, did you wish to speak, or? No, we just signed in. Okay, just signed in. Okay, well, welcome. Thank you. Good luck to you. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All righty. The third thing on our agenda is Ordinance 152-014, amending hotel motel tax to add bed and breakfast establishments. Staff submits at request of Alderman Fisk consideration of Ordinance 152-014, which expands the type of accommodations subject to the hotel motel tax, and that is for introduction. Is there a motion to introduce? Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Munzer, do you have a presentation on this, or?
Actually, this came from the law department drafted the memo. I don't know if Ms. Mason Cup has anything or not.
Good evening, Michelle Mason Cup. This was a referral, Chairman, that you had made, actually. So the law department drafted it at your request. It simply amends the hotel motel tax to add bed and breakfast within that purview.
Okay, Alderman Rainey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't know quite what to say about this. We have a total of one bed and breakfast. It was the subject of some very serious controversy at the time it was proposed. It was argued it would be an out-of-control, crazy party house, and of course what's happened is it's an exquisite renovation, restoring an exquisite home in a very prominent neighborhood to the best it'll ever be. And the guests have been very well behaved, and none of this has anything to do with whether or not it should be taxed. What has to do with whether or not it should be taxed is it is one bed and breakfast. It is my estimation that taxing this one bed and breakfast is going to cost us more than the revenue we will generate from the tax. Now, will there be 50 bed and breakfasts? Probably not, because there are some restrictions about distance, et cetera. The cost of renovating a property, the regulations required, pretty much inhibit a flourish of lots of bed and breakfasts. Second of all, the one person who has a bed and breakfast that has seen fit to follow the law and license it is Colonel Pritzker. I'm very concerned about all the bed and breakfasts we have that are not licensed. And I am going to move to remove this or to retain it on this committee's agenda until such time as we have an accounting of all the illegal bed and breakfasts that are operating that we're not able to consider for a tax. So with that, I move to hold this in committee until we get a whole lot of information. Thank you.
Does that mean no further discussion
Yeah.
at committee? Ms. Mason Cup? Okay.
I believe it does. I just can't find the rule right now.
Feel free to overrule the holdover. I mean, I don't care, because I'm,
Madam Chair, members of the committee, the council rules regarding holds really are for the full council. This is a debatable motion. Otherwise, someone can call the question if they wish to call the question.
call the question on what?
The motion.
Not on the hold.
Alderman Rady had a substitute motion to hold in committee. So the hold in committee is different than the rule that the city council
Okay.
has to hold the item. So
I see, okay.
You follow
So it's
regular
the-
Roberts Rules of Order. So there's been a motion, a substitute motion and a second. That's a debatable motion until someone calls the
I
question.
don't think the hold in committee is in Robert's Rules of Order. I pretty much know Robert's Rules. I don't think there's a big discussion about holding in committees. But I understand your point about pointing out that the privilege to hold in council is very well stated in our council rules.
And it is separate to this Evanston City Council
They're
through.
very well stated in the council rules about holding in committee.
I don't have it in front of me, but this has come up before. The rules do not deal with the holds in committee, they deal with holds at full council. So in the absence of that, the council operates under Robert's Rules of Order. And so under Robert's Rules of Order, an item can be held in a standing committee with a motion and a second.
All right,
and
as a
an
person
affirmative
who
vote.
always wants to go along to get along, I'll be glad to withdraw that holdover, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to campaign to the end to keep this off our books as a
And Alderman Rainey,
tax.
Chair Fisk, that's not what I'm saying.
I'll take it back.
No, no.
I'll take it back. I don't want to upset our staff, and, the chairman brought this one, it's a, what is that phrase? It's a one-horse pony or something.
Alderman Rainey, this is a
One-trick pony.
standard
It's a
motion.
one-trick pony.
Alderman
It is
Rainey, it's a
one-
standard
one
motion.
unit. No. What other tax do we have in this town that taxes one person and one entity, one use? What? There is
Northwestern
none.
University
And
is
I am
taxed
shocked that our staff-
for athletic tax.
What?
That's probably the one.
But athletic tax, are you kidding me? How much money, our staff didn't even do the courtesy of providing us with the revenue that would be generated from this tax for this one property.
And Alderman Rainey, members of the committee, this was a referral by the committee chair who requested that the ordinance be prepared. And so it was
But we're
prepared at the.
entitled to information if we're going to be asked to vote on something that somebody wants to tax.
And Alderman
We don't
Rainey,
even know
members
what
of the
that
committee, my understanding is there's a substitute motion on the floor to hold in committee. And so if that substitute motion is voted on in the affirmative, it will be held in committee, and you've asked also that additional information come back.
I've got a whole list of stuff. I got a whole list of stuff.
Okay, all those in favor of holding this in committee, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Okay, the ayes have it, so we'll hold it in committee. Okay, we'll have a voice vote then. Okay, then raise your hand if you're in favor of Alderman Rainey's motion, raise your hand.
Hold it in committee.
Okay, so 4 to 3, and opposed is. Alderman Wilson? Okay. Okay, so once the hold is approved, then we're not debating any further. That's-
The action is completed, and my understanding is that with the motion, you requested additional information about every illegal bed and breakfast in the city, and at such time that we have that information, we will return to the committee.
Well, and there's more. I mean, we need to know what kind of revenue is going to be generated from Stone Court Community.
Okay, and we will do our best.
What does it cost our staff to, bill and tax and
And we will include all of that in the information. I think that the challenge will be how we suss out all of the illegal bed and breakfasts. And so we'll work with the planning staff and make our best effort to delineate those that we believe are illegal bed and
Well,
breakfasts.
there are plenty of aldermen who know where illegal bed is.
And we would encourage, let me know, let Mr. Munzer and his staff know. We'll gather that information up, and we'll bring that back to you.
It's not Airbnb.
It's illegal bed, operating bed.
Mr. Munzer had a comment?
Mr. Bobkowitz addressed it. We have started to do initial research on where we believe there are illegal bed and breakfasts and the like, and we can start to formalize that list.
And then
and
we have
al-
to account for their revenue.
And Alderman Grover, did you?
And to add to the list of information, any prospective other new bed and breakfasts in the pipeline.
And then I also just want to make a correction. There aren't distance requirements between bed and breakfast now. So they can pop up anywhere. There are a couple that are in the works right now. So it's not limited to one. Okay, that's,
It provides people an option.
Alderman Rainey, it's a matter of fairness to small hotel operators who can be negatively affected.
5 current rooms are taking away from,
The potential is there for more than that. We'll debate it at the next meeting when we have more information. Okay, that's the end of our agenda. Unless, Mr. Munzer, you have any items for discussion or communications?
I do not.
Okay, then with a motion to adjourn, we will adjourn. And City Council will begin at 8 p.m. Thank you for coming.
I remember half of everything. Are we collecting tax
So we
revenue
probably didn't even
from?
need to hold it, we probably just could have asked for information and hold it.
We've got 5 minutes to 8.
Information.